Good morning, I'm Diana Macedo. We're coming on the air with a major development in the search for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show host Annie Guthrie. ABC News has confirmed law enforcement.
Imagine sitting down for a quiet family dinner, plates clinking, polite smiles, casual conversation, only for that same evening to become the dark center of a criminal investigation. What if the story everyone believed at first, a stranger lurking in the night, wasn't the real story at all? What if the truth was far closer to home? That's the chilling possibility now surrounding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. What began as a presumed kidnapping has unraveled into a maze of encrypted messages, security footage, and financial records that don't quite line up. And the deeper investigators look, the more that peaceful evening at Annie Guthrie's Tucson home feels less like a family gathering and more like the beginning of something carefully concealed. In the early days, the narrative seemed straightforward. Nancy had dinner with family, left around 9:45 p.m., and was reportedly driven home by a trusted relative. Hours later, she was gone. The assumption: a random abduction. But as timelines were revisited and digital records reviewed, small cracks began to form. Smart home logs reportedly showed the front door opening much earlier than first claimed. Cell phone data allegedly placed key individuals in different locations at different times than described. Nancy's own phone signal is said to have stopped near Annie's home, well before she was believed to have arrived safely at hers. Even Nancy's home security system reportedly showed no door activity during the window when she was supposedly dropped off. Piece by piece, the timeline that once sounded solid began to fray. And then there were the tensions no one talked about publicly. Messages and emails retrieved from devices reportedly revealed arguments over inheritance, medical decisions, and money. What had been described as a calm, uneventful dinner was now said to have included heated exchanges. Security footage, some without audio, allegedly showed strained body language, slammed hands, and Nancy appearing visibly distressed. At one point, she was reportedly seen wiping away tears and typing urgently on her phone. The contrast between the composed public narrative and the emotional undercurrent captured on camera has raised unsettling questions. Were these simply family disagreements, or signs of something more volatile? Financial documents added another layer. Nancy was said to control a multimillion-dollar estate, with planned revisions to her will scheduled just days after her disappearance. Handwritten notes reportedly found in the home referenced calculations and potential changes that could alter who benefited and who didn't. At the same time, at least one family member was reportedly facing mounting financial strain, business setbacks, and significant debt. Text messages allegedly revealed frustration over denied loans and resentment over inheritance decisions. In cases like this, motive doesn't shout, it whispers through numbers, timestamps, and quiet disputes. At the center of scrutiny is the son-in-law who volunteered to drive Nancy home. His account has remained consistent. He dropped her off and watched her go inside. But digital evidence reportedly paints a more complicated picture. Phone movements, security logs, and camera footage that don't perfectly align with that version of events. No doorbell ring. No recorded entry. No confirmation that Nancy ever made it inside. It's those missing moments, the silence in the data, that have become deafening. Now, a darker theory has emerged. One suggesting Nancy may never have left Annie's neighborhood alive. That the scene later interpreted as a break-in might have been staged. That what looked like a random act could instead trace back to a confrontation earlier that evening. Neighbors reportedly noted unusual late-night vehicle activity. Search efforts expanded beyond a typical missing person case, reportedly involving cadaver dogs and ground-penetrating radar. The tone of the investigation shifted, from searching for a victim of opportunity to examining the possibility of betrayal. Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is no longer just a story about a woman who vanished. It's about conflicting timelines, hidden resentments, and the fragile boundary between loyalty and self-interest. What seemed like an ordinary family dinner now stands as a pivotal moment, one that may hold the answers to what truly happened in those final hours. And as investigators continue to line up statements against digital footprints, One question remains. Was the danger ever outside the house, or was it sitting at the table all along?